Hey, what's up, guys? I'm gonna give you some quick post-fight thoughts on UFC 213. It is Sunday morning, 8:49 Central Time in the States. Sunday morning. Uh, this was International Fight Week, man. It did not feel like International Fight Week to me. It felt subpar. It did not feel much like a fight week at all to me. Maybe because I haven't been, watching, you know, YouTube videos so hardcore or listen to radio shows or whatever, but it just didn't feel special to me. And the fact that Nunez Shevchenko was canceled, it just made it even worse. You know, I think this event desperately missed that fight. It would have been great to have seen that rematch. It hurt it for me. That would have been a nice cherry on top to what we did see. But this was just an okay card for me. I was not, blown away by any means. I did buy it. I did support it, yeah, even though the main event fell out. And Amanda Nunes, she apparently was, according to Dana White, she was medically cleared, but I guess mentally she was feeling like she wasn't there because she wasn't feeling good or whatever. She didn't want to, I guess, go in not feeling 100%. So, you know, I think it sounds kind of bad. UFC, I'm pretty sure she's not in the good graces of the UFC at the moment. But um, hopefully we'll get to see that fight soon. It would have been nice if we would have got Shevchenko and Jan Jacek. They said that fight was possible, but I guess they didn't clear medically or something. I don't know, but that would have been great to have seen a last minute replacement. But on to the card, man. Uh, just a few months ago, I considered, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people considered, there to be a four-headed monster at middleweight, and that would have been Romero, Jacare, Wyman, and Rockhold. Those were the top four guys, man. And there has been a huge shakeup. Let me go ahead and give a round of applause to Robert Whittaker, man. This guy proved me wrong again, man. I did not do a pre-fight video. I had not been talking about the card, but if I would have done the video, I would have said I was going with Romero. Uh, I just Whitaker was a guy on the rise. As many of you know, I picked Jacare to beat Rob Whitaker. I thought Rob Whitaker was a little bit over his head in that fight, and he beat up Jacare, and so he definitely had my respect. And going up against Romero, I didn't feel as strongly against Whitaker, but I felt Romero was superior and would win the fight. And Robert Whitaker has basically come out of nowhere, and the guy is now the interim champion. There's been a huge shakeup in the top four. Weidman is out. He quit like a bitch, as we all know, against Musasi. Tried to get a DQ win. So he's not in the top four anymore. Rockhold is, you know, just not fighting. I don't know what's going on with him. He needs to get back in there ASAP. Romero's still in the mix, of course, and Jacare, he got finished. So he's not really, I'm not really considering him top four at the moment either. So congrats to Rob Whitaker, man. I had Romero winning the first two rounds, and Whitaker won the last three. Um, Romero, of course, has gas tank issues, and Whitaker was looking sharp, even though he suffered an injury early in the fight. Uh, when it comes to him and Bisbing, I got Rob Whitaker winning that fight all day. And not necessarily because of just what he has shown, but just because I just do not think much of Bisbing at all. I think he is just keeping that belt warm for whoever the next guy is. And if they have this fight, I would go in on Whitaker all the way. I would expect him to be at least a minus 185 favorite over Bisping. If anything less than that, I think is a deal. But I would play Whitaker big time in that fight. Bisping embarrassed himself. I think then he rip up a Cuban flag, uh, and then tried to get in the cage and you know step to Romero. He this guy sitting cage side. He could be in the cage fighting defending his title, but he's sitting cage side by Dana. Then he wants to get in and fight after the fight. Guy's a joke, man. Absolute embarrassment. Holding up the title, and then he tries to cut this heel promo on Robert Whittaker. After the guy's having his moment, and then he just basically kind of shits on the guy and throws his belt down and all that. Man, it was just crazy. Uh, Bisping, it'd be good when this guy is out of the spotlight, the limelight, man. And I got Whittaker beating him all day, but he's gonna try to angle for that GSP fight still. I know he is. He wants that payday, regardless of what he's saying about Robert Whittaker. He wants to fight GSP. If he can get that fight, he'll try to take it. But hopefully we will get the Whittaker fight, and I will play Robert Whittaker to beat Bisping. All right, he's gonna beat him up on hands. He should finish him because I mean his last two fights, in his last fight and the fight with Silva, I mean we saw what Bisping's face looked like, and Whitaker's not gonna be taking a back step. All right, let's see. Congrats to Alistair Overeem. He beat Verdun by decision. I had him winning the first two rounds, and Verdun won the third. The first round, maybe some people might say it could went either way. It was not a lot of action, but I thought Overeem landed the more significant strikes in that round, the more meaningful strikes in that round. I think by official numbers, Verdun landed more, but I thought Overeem landed the more significant stuff in the first round. So I had him winning that fight. All right. As far as what's next in heavyweight picture, I would like to see a Stipe Kane fight. We just can't trust Kane because he's so injury prone. Will the guy make it to the fight? Uh, do I want to see Stipe and Overeem next? Not really, because that last fight is still kind of fresh in my head. Um, I don't know. Uh, if Overeem doesn't fight for the title next, who could he fight next? I'm not sure. Um, I'm not sure. Uh, Unless we have an Overeem Kane fight. That would be, we haven't had that fight. That'd be good to see. For history's sake. Um, and who else? Who Stipe could fight? I mean, maybe he could fight Ngannou if Ngannou beats Junior coming up here pretty soon. So we'll see what happens at heavyweight. All right. Curtis Blades beat this guy. I'm not gonna try to say his name. Daniel O. Curtis Blades. This was a fight to. I mean, he was a huge favorite. Almost 7-1. I see one casino had him at as an 8-1 favorite over this guy, and this guy was I think ranked number 15. This was to a fight to get Blades in the top 15, which he will be in top 15, but it was not a stellar performance. It was not. He did not finish the guy. Uh, you know, he looks like a work in progress still. Still a big green. So, while he won, he did not have the breakout performance I think the UFC wanted the guy to have. I think they wanted this guy to possibly get a great win and push him, towards the top 10. He is a huge guy. All right. And Anthony Pettis beat Jim Miller. Uh, I laughed out loud at the end of the fight when Rogan said that it looked like Anthony Pettis had returned to form because Anthony Pettis, to me, return to form would have been Anthony Pettis finishing Jim Miller in the first round. That would have been Anthony Pettis return to form, not having a competitive back and fight, bloody fight with Jim Miller. He did win all three rounds. He won unanimous, but you know, I'm not confusing this for Anthony Pettis when he was at his peak and at his best. All right, um, and I think finally, the other fight that I saw on this card was the Travis Brown fight. As I said after the Black Beast fight, Travis Brown needs to retire. He should have been retired. He definitely should retire after this. How is he losing to this smaller guy, unheralded guy, lower ranked guy? I remember when I first started watching UFC around 2010. Travis Brown was an absolute beast, a great prospect. I mean, he was embarrassing dudes, dominating dudes. Whether it was on the ground, submissions, by strikes, whatever. Travis Brown was a badass, and I would say ever since the first fight against Fabricio, the guy's been on decline, man. He was playing around with Bigfoot, got knocked out. He ended up injuring himself, and then got knocked out. Kind of let that slide, but then when he got dominated by Verdum on Fox, when he was a like a 4-1 favorite or something like that, man, the guy's been going downhill ever since. And I think the guy needs to get out, go ahead and marry Rousey, enjoy life with her, and be done with the sport, man. Because he looks sloppy, he looks bad. I could tell he wanted to quit, he wanted out. So yeah, Travis Brown, you need to retire. Simple as that. All right, and that's pretty much all I saw, man. I was not too hardcore into this card. Um, Hopefully we will get some big fights and big events coming up soon. But that's it for me on this one, guys. Let me know what you thought about the fights, man. And I'll check in with you guys soon, man. Y'all take care.